Going to question 19. As always, we'll start with the prompt whenever possible. And here the prompt is just simply telling us that this is a grammar question. So let's start reading. Woven from recycled yarn and hand tufted using a carpet weaving technique passed by the artist's Turkish grandmother, blank is so lush and tactilely inviting that you're tempted to reach out and touch them. So there's a rule that can help us see this one a lot better. We jokingly refer to it as the LeBron James rule, and it says, when a sentence starts with a modifier that's missing the subject must lead the second part of the sentence. Now, a modifier, by the way, is something that would be a clause, except it's missing the subject, the verb, or both. So an incomplete part of a sentence generally is a modifier. And the example is, after leading Miami to 2 championships, LeBron moved back to Cleveland. Now, this is the modifier after leading Miami to 2 championships. Now, why is that a modifier? A modifier is missing the subject, the verb, or both. So ing words are not verbs, by the way. So if I change this to saying he led, that's the subject verb. He led Miami to 2 championships. Now it would be a clause. If it starts with after leading Miami to 2 championships, it's a modifier. So if you start with a modifier that's missing the subject, what happens is creating all of this suspense. Who led Miami to 2 championships? And now we need to rectify that by naming the person or even the thing in some sentences. So after leading Miami to 2 championships, LeBron moved back to Cleveland. So we've got all this suspense and we need to satisfy it by saying who we're talking about. Similarly here, what is woven from the recycled yarn and hand tufted using a carpet weaving technique passed down by the artist's Turkish grandmother? So there's a really big modifier there. To make it a clause, it would have to have something like, this thing was woven, subject, verb, this happened. But it's a modifier in its current form. So woven from this yarn and tufted using this technique passed down by the grandmother. So now we need to know, what is it we're talking about that was woven and tufted this way? And the answer is going to be A. The tapestries of this artist are so lush and inviting that you're tempted to reach out and touch them. So once again, woven from this yarn and tufted using this technique, the tapestries are so lush and inviting that you're tempted to reach out and touch them. So the answer here is A.